I seem to get the same questions over and over again about the pallet recycling business and the Simplest Biz training and all. So I wanted to cover the top 3 for the week. The first one, and I've written it down, why don't businesses get their own pallets from themselves and source it out for themselves? That's number 1. Number 2, what size companies do we deal with when it comes to this particular business model the way I teach it? And number 3, where do I get pallets? So we're going to cover all 3 of those and help you understand what I'm trying to educate you folks on and how this kind of works and give you a better picture of it, okay? So let's start. Why businesses don't do it for themselves. Why don't they go out and source their own pallets? Hey, John, why do they need you, right? Why don't they just go out and find their own pallets themselves? Well, any good business or service take something off the plate of the businesses that they're dealing with. Pallets to a business that needs them does not have, 1, the time to go source this type of stuff out, and 2, they're so busy keeping up with the trucks that are coming in on a daily basis and the orders that are going out and gathering that stuff inside the warehouse and palletizing that material and scheduling the trucks and getting those orders out the door and prepping for the next orders coming in. This is something they don't have time to deal with, nor would they want to, because it would affect their business in general. You have to have reliable sources. Let's say a business in this scenario went out and did that, but they ended up with a business that they're dealing with that had issues and they needed pallets for whatever reason, or they didn't have a reliable source. Well, think about the domino effect that it would create in their business. Trucks coming in, stuff scheduled to go out today. Oh my God, I don't have any pallets. And then those trucks got to be rescheduled and this, that, and the other. With the business that we provide for those companies, it's totally off their plate. They have pallets. They have them when they need them. They have the right styles, the sizes, because we've consulted them in a way where they have what they need when they need it, which is so important in the fast delivery world that we live in presently, okay? In addition, it's not just about us having pallets and they need pallets. And I've covered this in other videos, but I'm going to touch on it right here while we're still on topic number 1. There's a whole other area of consultation that's taking place for the flow and efficiency and several other areas inside that business that we consult them on outside of just, hey, I got pallets, you need pallets. So we tether ourselves in that manner. Also, there's no need to worry if you service a business the right way and have a product that fulfills their needs. They will stick with you for years and years and years and years to come. So that covers number 1. They do not have the time. They don't want to have to deal with it. And it's too risky for them to even have to try because they don't know the tactics of sourcing this type of material in a way that makes sense, especially the way we do it. Could they call a pallet yard and get screwed on the price and screwed on the terms and only be offered 1 pallet? Absolutely, they can. But when we come in, we have options for them that no one else will have and ways of setting the deal up in a way where they want to work with us. Okay, so that's number 1. What size companies are we dealing with? I've had a lot of comments recently thinking, well, this will only work if you deal with these massive companies. My favorite orders are the ones that are 100, 150, 200, 100 twice a week, 200 twice a week, pallets, right? And then they're also ordering 100 corrugated boxes from me or 25, 55-gallon drums and pallets. So thinking about it in these terms, we don't need a massive business to create headaches for our life in this business. We can broker those types of situations and make money passively and get a cut of the action for huge orders if we want to get in on that game. But to get time freedom back in our life and money freedom back in our life to where we can spend some time with our kids and go to our kids' soccer game in the middle of the day, go out to lunch with our wife on a Tuesday in the middle of the day, as an example, where you normally wouldn't work in a 9 to 5, having these smaller, medium-sized businesses that we deal with is the way to go. And you just multiply those and have those in different pockets of town. So let me explain that a little bit. On Mondays, I'm going to a pocket of town in a half-mile radius and bouncing around in that half-mile radius to get those orders fulfilled. So my efficiency is not me having a zigzag across town, right? It's in a little pocket. On Tuesdays, there's another pocket 3-4 miles down the road, and I'm bouncing around and doing my suppliers and buyers in that area. That's where we want to get you to where you have efficient ways of getting this done. And we're not having to deal with some major, Budweiser, Fortune 500 companies of the world for us to not to have some huge overhead to accommodate those. There's a lot of money in the 100, 150, 200 pallets a week, and you layer on top of it corrugated boxes, dunnage, crates, 55-gallon drums, wire spools, industrial bags, Gaylord boxes. I could go on and on. But these same companies that need the pallets need these other items. So we can have multiple revenue streams and be tethered to these smaller businesses without having to deal with a 4840 standard pallet like so many people think you have to do. There's more flexibility in the smaller businesses, and there's a lot of money in it. Just do the math. Watch some other videos on here about how you can get this done. Where do I get pallets? This is the next one. Third question. Listen, it took me years to figure out how to do this. I provide shortcuts in the training. Massive lists of suppliers, a massive list of buyers, and it's not just a list, it's tactics on how to scout those in your local area from home to start with. And knowing exactly where certain styles of pallets are for supply and certain buyers for those certain types of pallets, right? So that's matched up in the training. It's also giving you the tactics of what to say coming out. You don't know how to construct a deal in the beginning. And there's some work involved in the beginning doing this. You need to know the tactics of setting the deal up to make the supplier win, you win, and the buyer win simultaneously and sustainably. Not just a one-off where you had a deal and something worked out as a one-off, but be able to do repeat order, week after week, month after month, year after year. That's not the simple part, right? It's the stuff you need to learn to make this work the correct way with less stress and more time freedom for your life. Not knowing it causes stress, causes ill will because you not being able to fulfill it, these orders and this business in the way it needs to be done, and you've stressed yourself out. There are tactics and ways of going about this where your options and your horizons are broadened on what you can deal with, how you can deal with it, and that's what this training is for. It guides you to it. So, of course, people who leave comments under some of my videos, well, who are the buyers of these pallets? Realize even if I gave you that list, you got to know all the other stuff. But the list is inside the training, okay? The Simplest Biz 2.0 training is what I supply to people, and the private Facebook group goes along with it. So I wanted to cover those three questions that I get. TheSimplestBiz.com is where you need to go. In the description below, there will be information, whether you need to email us, whether you need to book an appointment, whether you want to just opt in for more information. Go and click the title, and the description will open up, and those links are sitting there for you. Okay? Subscribe, please, if you find this content good. Thumbs up, ring the bell so you get notifications on future videos. Thank y'all for spending time with me. John Wilker, owner of the Simplest Biz 2.0 training about the pallet recycling business, out.